Suppose, let's say your life is done, you're on your deathbed, tomorrow you're going to die. If you look back and see, is it all worthwhile? Have you done things that you really wanted to do? Don't look at it at the end of your life, you must look at it at the beginning of your life. Suppose you're on your deathbed, you're going to die, maybe you lived 100 years, but look back and see, has life been worthwhile? Have you done things that really matter to you or no? Because most people get truthful only if death is imminent. Otherwise, they know how to lie to themselves and to everybody. Most people tell the truth only when you put a gun to their head, unfortunately. I'm saying don't wait for somebody else to put the gun, you put it tonight and watch. Suppose I'm going to die now. Have I done things that are really worthwhile in my life? Things that I could be proud of, things that are worth spending my life upon? Has my life been done this way? If you just look at this, you will make an impact on the society, whatever you do. Whatever you do, you will make an impact. This is a simple exercise everybody must do. At the end of the day, you sit in your bed and look back on the whole day from the morning you got up, how you've been going around. You will see 90% of the time you're quite stupid. I'm being generous with percentage, believe me. If you're given little work, if you're just given little responsibility, suddenly you become so important. You become bigger than the universe suddenly. How many times you expanded beyond the size of the universe? If you look at it, you will see most of the time it's bloated. How many times you became immortal, that is, you're not conscious of your mortality. And how many times did you walk around looking at people and things around you without any sense of involvement? Just 3 things, you watch out. You will see, you will have to laugh through the night. Don't start crying. Just learn to laugh at your stupidity. You will see, all the rubbish you carry will turn into manure very fast. And manure is good for growth, you know. Yes.
Buddha said, all that we are is the result of what we have thought. This statement shows the importance of thoughts in your lives. What goes on in your mind determines the kind of person you are. It determines the quality of your life. No other spiritual master has talked about the importance of thoughts in such a great detail than Buddha. Buddha, apart from being one of the greatest spiritual masters, was also one of the greatest psychologists this world has ever seen. It won't be an exaggeration to say that he was the first psychologist who could see through the workings of mind, who could see through the deceptive nature of mind. He came to realize that it's the mind which is at the root of all suffering. And because of this, he put before the world an enormous body of work which deals with how you can tame your mind and make it work for you. In other words, Buddha's work deals with how you can stop being the slave of your mind and start behaving as its master. So you see, that's how important thoughts are. You should be careful about what you think. Now here, to make this point more clear, I'm going to share with you some beautiful lines from Buddha's most popular spiritual text, Dhammpad. This is actually the collection of the sayings of Buddha. So here is what Buddha said about thoughts. He said, "We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Speak or act with an impure mind, and trouble will follow you, as the wheel follows the ox that draws the cart." Then he says, "We are what we think. All that we are arises with our thoughts. With our thoughts, we make the world. Speak or act with a pure mind, and happiness will follow you as your shadow, unshakable." Then he says, "Look how he abused me and beat me, how he threw me down and dropped me. Live with such thoughts and you live in hate. Look how he abused me and beat me, how he threw me down and robbed me. Abandon such thoughts and live in love." So you see, this is how important thoughts are. Now this reminds me of one beautiful verse from Ashtavakra Gita. This verse is so similar in meaning and words with what Buddha said. Buddha came probably 1000 years after Ashtavakra. So it seems that Buddha might have heard the teachings of Ashtavakra from his spiritual masters. You'll feel this once you hear the verse. It goes like this. "Mukta bhimani mukto hi, baddho baddha bhimani api, kivandanti hai satyam, yamati sagatir bhavet." In this verse, the master Ashtavakra says to his disciple, "O son, remember this. As one thinks, so one becomes. If you think that you are free, free you will be. And if you think that you are bound, you will remain bound for sure. The one who considers himself or herself as free becomes free indeed. And the one who considers himself or herself as bound remains bound for sure." So you see, both Ashtavakra and Buddha are saying the same thing, that you should be careful about what you think. You should be careful about what goes on in your mind, because that is the root of your suffering. That's where you sow the seeds of your suffering. Now, before I end this talk, let me just say one more thing to you. The identification with body and mind is nothing but the result of thought. Yes, it is the thought which makes you think, which makes you feel that you are the body, that you are the mind. So what you need to do is replace the thoughts which increase your identification with body and mind with the thoughts which tells you who you truly are beyond this body-mind complex.